So what do you think is the most powerful engine for a country's economy? I mean, really, it's not a new factory. It's not some fancy new technology. It's the raw energy and ambition of its young people. Today, we're going to break down exactly how they are the absolute essential drivers of a nation's economic health, its fairness, and its future.
Okay, so first things first, let's get on the same page with a key idea. When we talk about economic growth, a lot of us just picture stock tickers and GDP charts. But inclusive economic growth, now that's something way bigger. It's about building an economy where the rewards are shared by everyone, not just a handful of people at the top. It's about making sure nobody gets left behind.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start with the huge potential of what's called the youth dividend. Then we'll see how young people become the actual engines of the economy, and beyond that, the architects of our society. We'll get into the unique skills they bring to the table, and finally, we'll face the very real challenges that are standing in their way.
All right, let's kick things off with the big idea here. Why are young people so fundamental to this whole conversation? It goes so much deeper than just their energy. It's actually a core economic principle.
It really all begins with this powerful concept, the demographic dividend. Just think of it like a golden window of opportunity for an entire country. It's that sweet spot when you have more people working, and that's mostly young people, than people who are dependent on them. When you get that ratio right, you unleash this massive potential for productivity, for innovation, and for some serious growth. And this quote, this is so key because it completely flips the script on how we usually think about this. We so often talk about youth as people who receive help or benefit from policies, but this reframes them as what they truly are, the agents, the ones in the driver's seat, actively creating and shaping our economic future. Okay, so if they're the ones driving the change, what does that actually look like in the real world? Let's dig into the mechanics of how young people really act as the economy's primary engines. It really boils down to two huge things. On one hand, you have them jumping into the workforce, and that injects a fresh dose of skills, new knowledge, and just pure energy that boosts productivity. But then, and this is so important, you've got the other side of the coin. Their incredible drive for entrepreneurship, which acts as a catalyst, sparking new businesses and shaking up the old ways of doing things. And this is where it gets really exciting. You can see this incredible ripple effect from youth entrepreneurship. It is never, ever just about one person starting one little business. No, it's a chain reaction. They create jobs for their peers, they introduce brand new ideas, and they start to expand opportunities in places that might have been overlooked before. But hey, it's not all just about the dollars and cents, right? Their role goes way beyond the economy. Young people are also absolutely fundamental in building a fairer, more equitable society for all of us. So how does that actually work? Well, when young people are active in the economy, they just naturally start to close the gaps that divide us. Their new businesses often have social justice built right in. Their voices push for equality, and their energy empowers groups that have been on the margins. It's like building a more level playing field from the ground up. And this right here, this is a game changer of a perspective. When young people get involved in policy, they're not just thinking about their own immediate needs. It's like they're hardwired to think about the future, making sure the decisions we make today don't end up hurting the world they're going to inherit tomorrow. Okay, so what's the fuel for this whole engine of change? Well, it's that unique, almost intuitive connection that young people have with innovation, technology, and all the skills you need for a modern economy. You've probably heard the term digital natives, right? Well, it's not just a buzzword, it's real. Young people are the first ones to grab onto new tech, whether it's the latest digital platform or a new form of green energy. And that natural fluency, it's the absolute indispensable fuel for innovation in any modern economy. So how do we harness all that amazing potential? It's really a three-step journey. It all has to start with quality education that gives them skills that are actually relevant today. From there, you build a mindset where they're always learning, always adapting. And the end result? You get a workforce that's resilient and ready for absolutely anything the world throws at it, from automation to entirely new industries. But let's be real for a second. This incredible potential, it doesn't just happen on its own. To really unlock it, we have to be brutally honest about the very real barriers young people are up against and the urgent actions we need to take to tear those barriers down. Think about it. Despite all their talent and drive, young people constantly hit these huge, concrete walls. An aspiring entrepreneur can't get a loan.
A student graduates with skills that the market just doesn't need anymore. And so many of them face these deep structural barriers that just lock them out of good jobs and the formal economy. These obstacles don't just hold them back, they hold all of us back.
So, what's the playbook? How do we actually fix this? Well, it's not going to happen by itself. It takes deliberate, strategic action. Things like actually funding startups, making sure education lines up with real-world jobs, creating laws that support youth employment, and, maybe most important of all, giving young people a real, meaningful seat at the table where the big decisions are made. You know, at the end of the day, this quote just nails it. It's such a perfect metaphor. Youth are the bridge. They are the living connection that can take the abstract idea of economic growth and turn it into the real, tangible outcome of a better, fairer, more prosperous society for everybody. And that really leaves us with one final thought. This isn't just some interesting topic to discuss. It's an urgent call to action. So if young people are the bridge we desperately need to build, the real question for all of us is this. What is the very first, most important stone that we need to lay down right now to start building it?